Hello.
Hey, sorry, I
Um,
had to meditate a little bit before calling you. Take some deep breath.
Man, you have been practicing your salesman skills. I love it. So, okay. I um I let me pull up my sheet in front of me. All right. So,
Oh, you
running
got a
some
whole shit.
numbers.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I use a an amortization schedule, so right to do a lot of this stuff. So anytime when I buy real estate, I heavily rely on this, and so I'm using it
Mhm.
now as I'm thinking
That,
through
that's what smart people do.
where
I do the same to
whatever.
underwrite deals.
Exactly, you should.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what I'm thinking, right, is that I want to minimum, be able to make sure that um, I've got the cash flow to
Hmm.
kind of make those payments,
Absolutely.
back.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and so that's going to be a combination of from what our terms will be, plus, reducing, not having to make payments anymore, right? So the reduction of payments. So
You've
basically, it's
you've
just,
been you've been practicing your sales pitch too. Come on, Libra. I got you. Just kidding. Yeah, I
I,
know. It makes sense.
I know this stuff well.
I can tell. I can tell. I'm learning. I'm taking notes. All right.
And so, which by the way, I actually have another a friend of mine who recently reached out to me, and I don't know if it would be something you all are interested in. But I told her that, hey, I've been working with a group.
Mhm.
She got into the kind of as you were discussing, right? Like
Mhm.
these people that they jump into real estate, they don't really know anything about it. You hear all the hype and you think
100%.
it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So she bought a pretty dud property. She fixed it up herself. The
Mhm.
GC did
Mhm.
not do a great job.
Mhm.
He came back for more money several times.
Mhm.
She's, kind of, she doesn't even think that she can get out of it, for profit.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah.
That's from Monday to Sunday. General contractor stories.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like to find a good one, is like finding a needle in a haystack. But
Yeah.
even when you find that, it's this GC is. I'm telling you.
And the problem is, again, she's not, real estate is not her thing.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
She
That
right.
is the
She thought it
thing.
was a hot market, and so what made it even worse, right? Like I probably wouldn't have been too hard, but I'm like, she decided Chicago, because she thought, I guess,
Ooh.
I don't know, she could get a deal there. She had a friend that
Yeah.
actually so she's actually a colleague of mine,
Mhm.
and someone we used to work with who quit and went to a different company, but
Right.
her and her boyfriend kind of got into real estate management. And so, they're selling her on, hey,
Mhm.
we have this business and we have, contractors that we work with and we
Mhm.
can help you out and blah, blah, blah. She lives in
Jeez.
Boston. I was
Right.
just like, I even, she reached out to me in the beginning. I was like, "Yeah, there's no way. Like, I don't even want to buy anymore that I'm not there. Like,
Right.
but I
Right.
at least lived there for a while. Like, you don't know anything about these
Right.
areas,
Right.
so
That's that is
yeah.
my first advice to every new person that gets into real estate, because I have a really great network. I'm super active in social media, so people always reach out for advice or consulting. And my first advice is never start with flipping if you have no experience. That's the best way to go bankrupt. Is
Mm-hmm.
to start by flipping, because if you have zero, like people watch HGTV way too much and they think
Mm.
flipping is sexy. It's only sexy once the house is done, you see the results, but you don't see
All right.
everything else, all the crap you deal with. GCs running with your money, upcharging you because you don't know material costs, you don't know what needs to be done, what to look out for, even the way to structure the paperwork properly, and they just scam you. I know a lot of people that I've talked to, we bought properties from, and they got
Mm-hmm.
into real estate. And that's the thing, right? They watch HGTV and they're like, shit, I want to get into real estate. So I'm just going to start by flipping. And then they go out to hard money lenders, which most of those people, they're sharks. So right
Mm-hmm.
from the get go, when you present the deal without experience, they already know they're going to take that from you. They're going to foreclose on you. So they
Mm-hmm.
lend you knowing well that you will get screwed and get foreclosed on. But because there is enough meat on the bone, they still give you the loan. And so I
Right.
see that all the time. It's crazy. My first fix and flip, I didn't know nothing about fix and flip. My first fix and flip.
Mm,
What I did
mm-hmm.
is I find somebody in my circle that not only have the money but have the experience of fix and flip. And what I
Mm-hmm.
did is I came to him and I said, "Hey, here's the value that I bring to the table. I have a property under contract right now and it's creative finance. These people, they used to go out to the auction and bid on properties and buy everything cash. And so it's a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
headaches and they can spend like 6 months on the flip because they already do like gut jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, listen, I can save you all those headaches. I got a property right now where I bought it creative finance. He didn't know nothing about creative finance. I said I took over the mortgage, so you don't have to go raise any money. You don't have to bid on anything. It's locked in. So technically, I already secured funds. It was like 345 existing loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all you guys need to do is to bring the renovation cost. You bring the GC because you have experience. You guys been working together,
Mm-hmm.
and you bring the funds for the renovation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, right? And he was like, "You kidding me? I don't have to bid." And the properties that I find is always like light work. I don't deal with
Right.
like heavy. I have never spent on a renovation more than 2 3 months. Right,
Oh
maximum
wow.
60
Nice.
days. I get in, I get out. Because like I'm not focused on fix and. I don't want to be a full time fix and flipper. It's a headache. I'm more focused on cash flow. That's my thing, right?
Yep.
And so when I came to him, I was like, listen, the only reason I want to do this one is because I want to have the experience. Because the reality is we get a lot of opportunities that is fix and flip fit. We have to be able to
Mm-hmm.
fix and flip. And we also have private lenders that are not willing to lend more than 6 months their money. And so we have to put their money to work only through flipping because those are the only projects that is a fixed, 6 month type of thing.
You're right.
And he was like, okay, I'll do it. I said, okay, great. So I did my first one. So 0 money out of pocket for me on my end, other than just negotiating the contract, putting it on the contract. And for them, I saved them a bunch of headaches having to go to the auction and then dealing with, bunch of like crap because they do gut jobs. They walk into this property, they're like, dude, we've never had a property that looks this good before we started. I'm like, yeah, because and so that's what I tell people when they reach out to me and they're new. I'm like, trust me, you do not want to start with fix and flip unless you
Yeah,
have a partner that have skin in the game and have experience. And you just bring the deal,
exactly.
you give it to them, have them bring the money because if they have skin in the game, they can screw you all they want. It's their money, right?
Exactly. And she's now in that position where just like you said, right? She went out and got hard money because that was the other thing that
Holy,
I at least thought that the reason why she was really pressed on doing it was because she sold her own residential property like
oh,
a little over a year ago. So I'm like, all right, you should have proceeds, right? And she sold
oh,
it, while the market was starting to rise. So I'm thinking that's what she's using, the money she's using. And literally, like the day before closing, she sent to me to review. And I'm like, no, I would
oh,
never. I would not recommend. No. Why? I was like, why are you going after hard money? I was like, I
oh.
don't understand. And again, then and I was like, listen, well, you're supposed to close tomorrow. There's not a whole lot you can do.
Mhm.
I would have never suggested this, but I was like, based on what's here, yeah, it looks like everything is okay. But again, if there's a way to get out, get out. But of course, she didn't get out. And again, I guess she thought that because I think she might have got a quote up front, right? So she thought that
Always,
she'd be able to flip it. And,
always, yeah. They
so,
give you
and
those
she's,
preliminary sweet coats, and then at the closing, they
mhm,
hit you with the hard, you know.
right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And even then, with all of that, he still didn't even do a great job. And so there's additional work that she's already had to have done. And I think,
Oh
still
gosh.
some other things that need to be done. And so
Whew.
she's trying to go through, she asked me for attorney recommendations. So,
Mhm.
I gave her at least one that I knew, but I
An
was like,
attorney?
I don't have a whole, yeah,
Oh,
because I
she
guess
want to
she
sue the
wants to
guy?
now go out,
She want to sue who?
and
The
go after
GC?
the GC. Yep.
Oh god.
And I said, you got to make sure he's bonded and insured, first of
That's
all,
the thing.
because a
That's the
lot of these
thing.
people just do work,
That's
right?
the thing.
So it's like, I don't even know if you have that.
And
And
if
she
you don't
never
have
answered it.
experience, you don't even know how to think about those type of things.
Exactly. And
That's
so I said,
crazy.
hey, if he is insured, then maybe an attorney
Right.
can help you out. And like I said, I gave her one, but I was like, again, this is that I know enough to be dangerous, but this is not my area of expertise. So I'm like,
You need
give
bigger
this
than
recommendation
you
and I'm
need
backing out.
you need bigger than the Libra on this one.
Yeah,
You need a lie.
Because I'm like, yeah, you're screwed. Like, I really don't even know what to tell you. But then as like I said, we've been talking, and so that was the last thing about the attorney. And I said,
Okay.
maybe there is something, where I said I've been working with a couple of people that are, they're into creative finance and they come up with solutions. I said, maybe there's something there. I told her, I was like, I don't know, but maybe that's a route you want to look into.
That's crazy.
So she's asking me more questions about it now. And I told her, like, we'll schedule some time to talk either later today or tomorrow.
Did she pick up the property at least a decent area?
It is decent. Yes, it is but it's a suburb, right? It's not in the city. I want to say it's Oak Lawn.
Okay.
And she might have sent me. I'll look back. Like if I have any, like if she sent me a kind of either the listing or something, I'll at least send you that so that you can, kind of look at it.
Okay. Well, what you can do is set up like maybe like a 3-way or something. We can talk about it, and even if we're not a good fit as buyers or whatever, but we can help out with ideas. I mean, we've dealt with this so much. Where we took over people's projects in the middle and just, so at least what we can do is to point her to the right direction, even if we're not a good fit.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, with this market, we don't want to deal with a lot of headaches. So if we can pivot into something where, hey, we wipe out the hard money and still keep it for cash flow, we might go more in that route. Or another thing we can do, if there is enough meat on the bone, is sometimes what we'll do is we'll partner up with the person, bring the funds to finish everything the right way, and then list it at that point and everybody get paid, right? But it's going to be a partnership. So we can always talk about it at that point. I guess my Afrobeats moves works if I'm getting a referral from somebody here.
Listen, I told her, I said, we haven't even closed on my deal, so I can't say for sure.
I know, right?
So far, it's looking okay.
All right,
so
then let's talk about your numbers.
My deal, exactly. Okay, so anyway, so I told you, right, I want at least enough that I'm covering that $1,000 a month and still have a little bit of cash flow in my pocket, with eliminating the payments and everything. And then also knowing that, so now it's own free and clear. If we're looking at a 7-year term, then you've got the time, right? Because we talked about the value. And
right.
Knowing that you've got time to cash flow the property, and then in 7 years, if you go to sale, like it should be obviously worth a lot more. So where I'm at,
you cleared your throat.
I did, and I still think this is extremely fair because I think it should be more. But like I said, I want it to be beneficial for both of us, right? And where it makes sense. And if you can make a lot of money, hey, go for it because you're willing to take it on. So I am looking at purchase price $150, 10% down payment. And so that would be like 15. And so we would be financing $135.
Right.
Looking at a 5% interest rate, 7-year term, 40-year amortization. And I think that's it.
What is the monthly comes about?
That is, I am showing 135, 5% for 80 months, $650.97.
So every month we'll be sending you a net check of $650.
Yes.
Okay, $650.
Pretty much.
And what was the rent on this again?
So last rent I was at, which was in 2020, was $1,500. I think you're probably around 17 to 19.
Right now, 17 to 19.
Market,
17 to 1900. Got it.
And if it's Airbnb, you're even, a lot more than that.
Yeah, let's see if that works. I forgot if MJ did the homework on the HOA. That is something.
I think yes. Yes.
Do you know if he found if they allow it?
What he said, so what he told me was that, sorry.
It's fine. I'll find that out with him. Never.
No. And I'm not trying to hide anything. I was going to say, he didn't necessarily tell me. He asked me because it is a HOA. He asked if there was an issue with Airbnb. So I didn't know if that's exactly where he was going.
He couldn't tell how busy you are. Why would he ask? That's crazy.
Listen, because at that point he didn't have the declaration, and so I'm like, again, we're still just talking, and he didn't. He didn't get the HOA up front, right? So
Got
even
it.
though I told him it's a condo and it's a, but then when we ran through numbers, I'm like, all right, and the monthly HOA is 140. And he was like, oh, I didn't
Okay.
realize that. So
Okay.
then that's when he asked, right, is there was an issue with Airbnb? And I said, no, it's
Got
not anywhere explicitly stated. So
Okay.
again, I was thinking he's going that route. But when he sent to me numbers, what he said actually was 1933 is what he saw. Within a 2-mile radius, I believe, average for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath was
As far as rent?
1933. Yes.
Got it. Yeah, so we can look at usually for me, I don't let sellers do that. That's our job to do the homework. So all I need is just if you have any document from the HOA or anybody we can contact, we can always find that out, I just need to know which is the HOA we're dealing with. If you can provide that to me.
Yep, I did send him the declaration, but I can forward you that. And then it is managed by a third party, which is called Hancock Management. And they mostly manage it from the perspective of, so right now it is because I don't think you and I got to talk about this. It's a 5-unit condo building, right? And it is now all investor owned, where it used to be, in the beginning, it was all owner occupied, right? But there are only 3 of us. So one guy owns 3 units, another owns 1, and then I own 1. And then there's an identical building next door. And I think the one guy that owns the 3 units also owns maybe 2 of them over there. I don't know exactly, because again, that one doesn't have anything to do with me, but it is an identical unit next door.
How come you didn't buy the whole building, girl?
No, back then. So condos are a headache, right? This is why I want out. It's always something.
There's always something. I mean, I hate HOAs, to be honest with you. I just feel like they're useless, and they just come up with all these laws to give people a headache.
Yeah,
but we'll definitely explore the Airbnb. That's my love language. I think that's why I'm not a Libra, probably something else. I need to find that out. But yeah, if that works, that would be fantastic. I definitely think these numbers are honestly fair. I was expecting you to be more aggressive, but I guess
no, and like I said, I think it should be higher. But again, I'm okay here.
Come on. Come on. I think we're friends at this point.
I agree, and like I said, I think it should be higher. But I want you to have that opportunity because, like I said, right, I don't want you to get into it. Yeah, and then it doesn't cash flow, it doesn't work, and then you say, "All right, I'm ready to walk away." In a year or two, right? So I want it to work, and like I said, again, if you're able to make the money, you know what? Hey, I can't be mad at that. I'm not wanting to take on the headache of managing it and dealing with that. So I think that this sets you up to be in a very good position, but still puts me in a position where
you're passive, and absolutely.
Exactly.
So this is what I love, right? Because I can tell you there is a lot of seller finance deals we walk away from because we realize is when we get into a seller finance type of deal is we're essentially, throughout the process of closing, we're dating, but after we close, we're actually married, right? And so we find out that, this is not an individual, even though they're willing to do it, is not somebody want to get married to it, because it's not a bank that want to see us succeed. Right, the way they structure the terms is like we're almost negative, and then they want all this, all that. And because it's a relationship, is I give you, you give me. What I love about this one is you really thought about, okay, I want you guys to win too, to where you still be able to take care of me, and I really appreciate that thought from you. So I know you're somebody I can definitely be in a long-term relationship with. So this is great.
Yep, okay. Absolutely.
So let me just recap just to make sure I got the numbers right. Okay. So we have 150 purchase, right? We have a 10% down payment. Let's see if my memory is as good as the Libra's. Okay. 135K note, first position, and then 7-year balloon with a 4-year amortization schedule that comes about $650.97 net to you a month. We take care of taxes, insurance, and all that. Am I right on that?
Yep, that is correct. So taxes, insurance, and HOA. Don't forget that.
Yeah, HOA.
And that price has not changed. I bought it in 2005, and we've been at $140 ever since then.
Oh, it's 140. Okay.
Yep, $140 a month.
Okay.
There's only been one time it was a special assessment, and that was like way back. So the first 5 years we had to invest. I think we had to completely change out our so there is a parking space in the back, which is again coveted for Chicago, right? And so we have a it's like a gated, right? So it's not covered, but it's gated, and it was just done completely wrong. So they had to redo it, and that was a few $1,000s. But other than that, no special assessments. But I will forward you the declaration, and then also the I'll include like a link to the management company so that you at least can see them. And if you want to call, I think there is a representative, so I'll log in to see, because I think there's a name, some woman. I never talked to him, but. Yeah, but exactly. I just pay. I'm like, here you go.
Libras don't like people, huh?
Yeah, no. Sometimes we do it, and other times it's like, no way.
Oh my gosh!
But the only other thing too, or the good thing actually, I'm sorry, is that monthly association covers trash, water, cleaning. So they do cleaning of the common areas, and then I believe lawn and snow. In the winter.
Okay.
Yeah. So but again, you can verify that.
Those parking spaces, are those private?
It is, and it's just one, so not spaces.
Oh, okay, just one space, but it's private for everybody.
Yep, each unit has a space. So, like I said, there's 5. It can be a little tight, but mine is towards the front. And so it is late. At least the last I was there. Now again, it's been a while, but it should be labeled like Unit 1S, Unit 1 North, 2 at each space has its own, or each unit has its own space, and that's the one you are assigned.
Got it. Do you have one of the better views as well?
No. So my view is to the parking in the back. Oh, wow. So that's what you see. Yeah, because I'm the south. Exactly. Yeah, and so the front one is to the street. 1 North is to the street. Awesome. Yeah, and I am ground floor. So so there's 2 on the first floor, 2 on the second, and then just 1 on the third. Got it. Okay. There is a rooftop, and it's accessible. Yeah, but I don't think it's anything great. I'll be honest. I went up there in the very beginning, and I thought like, oh, this is going to be cool and nice, and you can see the. Yeah, it's just. I'm
assuming the HOA have control on that rooftop as far as what you can do. Yes. That's what sucks, right? Because there's so much ideas you can bring, but because of the HOA. But anyway, so what's funny is that within my real estate experience, I've learned dealing with HOAs. Any HOA that is like $100 or below monthly. They're usually less of a headache because they don't have money anyway. But anything over 140 is just their shit don't stink type of HOAs.
Yep. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you again, it was what was set up because you had to do it. So when we first purchased, right, the developer did it, and we have not done anything since then. Matter of fact, it took us years to even say, like, all right, I guess we're supposed to take this over. Like, what happens?
But one good thing is this is super rare to have a HOA 5 unit where every owner is an actual investor. So that is a good sign, right? So maybe it's just that the other investors, they're not really interested in doing any Airbnb, but I'm guessing if they allow rentals, they should be able to allow Airbnb. So we might be the first ones to bring that there. I don't know.
Yeah, because it says you're supposed. It doesn't mention anything about Airbnb because I don't even think they were around at that time, or they were still new. But it does say, right, like if you rent or if you sell, you're supposed to get permission. But I can tell you again, they have never come to me, and I know for sure at least one of his units is Section 8. Because she's been there for like 7 years. She's kind of the person that I still reach out to if I just want some information about the property. Like she'll give me the inside scoop. And so again, he never came and asked me, right? Like, hey, can I do Section 8? Like, no, we never had a meeting about that. So that's why I say again, it is just there kind of in because it is a condo and there are some common areas, right? It's like you've got to have something in place and something to say that, hey, okay, who's paying these bills? But from past that, that's pretty much it, unless there's just any issues. Like we had one tenant where we had an issue where he was like stealing stuff and smoking and blah blah blah. Yeah, but that's been like 10 years ago as well. That's when I was still living there.
Got it. Okay. Fantastic. So my next bridge to cross is to do the homework on the HOA. What I'm gonna do right now is bring my Airbnb manager this afternoon so we can underwrite it as an Airbnb already. I know he already looked at it before, and he confirmed there is Airbnb comes around it. It's just in this specific, building is that he still need to double check things. But at the time, we didn't know if you're gonna move forward with anything.
Okay.
Because I think MJ was a little bit lost on how he want to structure this. So,
Yep.
One thing. So here's the thing. So these are definitely fair terms. So I think I can push this to my partners and have them accept it. Or I'll throw in some Afrobeats moves, and this should go with this. Okay. And maybe buy them some sushi.
you could throw me some more money too if you like. So.
I'll think about it when maybe after a year, if you're still a nice Libra, then yeah, I'll think about it. So let's do this. The only question I have for you would be the 7-year balloon, right? Is there a specific reason for the 7-year? Like at that point, are you getting married, getting out there? Like what's going on?
It is not, but I am getting older. So I'm in my 40s, early 40s, and
you sound 28. Okay.
Oh, thank you. And so I just, I guess for me, I'm like going into this for the first time.
Okay.
That's an acceptable length. I just don't want to be tied up or have my money tied up, I should say, for forever, not knowing what I'm going to do. So right now, no, there's no plans for anything, but who's to say in 2 years, I don't, get married or have kids or do something. Right. So
I like that. At least you're thinking about it. That's good.
Yeah. So originally, I was telling you, I was looking at 5, but when MJ and I were working on terms, he got me to 7. I was like, all right, I'll do the 7.
All right. Then, listen, 7 years is anyway a long time to know if you're married to the right partner as far as business is concerned on this property. So maybe at that point, you'll be like, you know what, it's just fine. Let's just keep making kids with this deal.
Right, exactly.
So we'll talk about it there. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, but that's great. 7-year with interest rate is perfectly acceptable. And I think anyway, I think with you is that if we have a good relationship, there is more things that can come out of it. And at that point, if the market is bad, I'm sure you won't be that type of bank to go, hey guys, I don't care. I still want my money. You might be flexible a little bit on that.
So I believe that.
Yeah. So let's do this. So these terms right now, I'm going to give you my yes on this.
Okay.
But I still have to go back to my partners, push it to them. I promise I'll give them some dance moves because I'm teaching them how to they're knuckleheads. They don't know. One of them is over his 40s too. So he's never danced in his life. And the other one, I just need to buy him sushi and we're good. Right?
Gotcha.
So I'll have them swallow this pill this afternoon. Right. And then also bring my property manager so we can look at the Airbnb option because now I can sit down and say, hey, we have something here that I know I'm not wasting my time sitting down and underwriting stuff. But these terms right now, I'll give you the preliminary green light yes, where I think this should work, put us in a good position. Now we just need to figure out, I need to go whisper in my private lender's ears as far as, the rental money is concerned, the down payment and all of that.
Yes.
And see who wants another return on their money too on this deal. So,
I love it.
Yeah, we definitely should make something work before. When are you traveling again?
I leave at 5 p.m. And so I probably heading to the airport in another hour or so.
No, I'm talking about out of the country.
Oh, sorry. Friday evening.
Okay. Have you decided where you're going?
No, I'm listen. One thing at a time. I'm not there yet. I had to finalize. I don't know if I told you, and I do have to run to another call, but I'm actually taking a group of people with me. So there's 17 of us. Oh, nice. And now luckily, all of them weren't for Uganda. They were just, Rwanda. And I was supposed to do that back in Uganda. But I kind of spent the weekend just making sure everything is ready for them. And so I was just like, again, I will figure it out. I've kind of been one of those travelers before too, where, day of, I can make a decision and do something. So
that's awesome. These are all people you know?
Yeah. Well, yes. All people I know. So, I travel a bunch and I did one group trip to like Greece, and that went
Oh.
well. I had like 40 people,
Mhm.
and so I was like, let's try it again. People saw that I went gorilla trekking last year and asked questions. And I was like, hey, I'm actually putting together a group.
Let's
So
go. I love this.
yeah.
So how do I
Yeah.
join? How do I join the group if this works out?
So that's the thing. I was like, listen, I don't want to do this full time. It's kind of a one-off thing. It's like I have other friends that have like pivoted full time, but I have a full-time job that actually pays me well. So I'm
right?
I'm gonna focus on this. But I'll keep you posted if there are some other trips.
Listen, if I'm making good cash flow on this property of yours, I mean, I can afford a trip with you guys.
Exactly.
All right, sounds great. Well, this is great. Listen, I do have another call as well. I need to jump on. So let's do this right now. We're good. This is good to go. Thank you.
And I will email you here in the next like 15, 20 minutes. Like I said, that deck and then a link to the property management company and the name.
All right.
Yes.
Perfect. Sounds good. And
All
thank
right,
you for
Mama
not eating me
Good
alive.
talking to you.
We'll talk. So we'll talk probably tomorrow. Today I'll leave you alone. And tomorrow we'll touch back base, okay?
Okay, sounds good. You have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
All right, guys. Boom. Boom. So I'm not gonna even go into the details of this thing, guys. I already gave it to you guys in part 1. If you don't know the details of the deal, go back and watch part 1 of this call. But guys, this is amazing. This is amazing. So the thing with this type of salaries, you gotta build credibility, and the way you build credibility is not by talking about cats and dogs and whatnot, right? You give them third-party stories, things you have done, so that they know you know what you're talking about. Keep calm. Don't sound like you're a hungry buyer, right? People can smell that breath. The hungry, I need a deal right now, right? And on top of that, guys, like, I'm planting seeds. I'm not confirming, I'm not affirming that I'm gonna do this, but I'm saying there might be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still holding, because if you say yes too soon, 100%, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna have what is called the seller's remorse. Tomorrow she's gonna wake up and be like, shit, I probably could have gotten better. I could have asked 7%. I could have asked this, asked that. Now somebody in the comments is gonna go, well, why are you going for 5%? When we're getting properties subject to what, like 3.75, 2.75%. Guys, it's because I have the seller literally bringing $50,000 to the table and pay off her mortgage for me to be able to buy this on seller finance. And my monthly rent on this thing is between $1,700 and $1,900, and she's only asking me $650 per month. And there is a potential that this property actually works for an Airbnb. It's 5-unit condos, but all of them, each one of them, is owned by actual investors. And guess what else? So this lady, guys, just to give you a context, we've been talking for more than 3 times. It's the 4th call, I think, right? So I've been building rapport. This is where people miss out. On the first call, we didn't agree on terms. And I was like, listen, let's just follow up, right? I'm working on other deals. Let's just follow up. Let me have you sleep on this. They follow up, guys. So within those 4 calls, guess what happened? You build more rapport. They open up more. They tell you more things about themselves. Building that credibility, you breaking that wall, right? Now you're at the same table with them. You guys are sitting across each other on the same team. And now her, as my bank, she want to make sure that I succeed as her borrower. And she's already bringing me referrals, guys. We haven't even closed the deal yet. But guess what else this seller is to me? She will be one of our private lenders. I'm speaking that to live right now. She will be one of our private lenders in the future deals that we'll do after we perform on this one. She have the resources. She's already an investor, but have 0 time to sit down and manage real estate. Guess what we have? We have all the time in the world, baby, to manage real estate. I don't manage it. I outsource it. We have in-house management. Our network is super solid because we only work with friends. Right? There you have it. Let me know in the comments, what did you like about this call and what didn't you like about this call? Again, guys, this was Mamadou Diallo. Welcome to my Bold Effect channel. All right. Stay bold. Be bold. I repeat, stay bold, be bold on everything that you do. All right, guys. And after you realize that now you're bold, I want you to light yourself on fire and go boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Stay bold,